Okay, everybody, welcome. This is Elsie Kerns, Chaos to Clarity Coaching. And tonight, Thursday, February 28th, is our monthly wellness webinar. And our special guest tonight is Kristy McAdams. And here she is here on our first slide. And as I was mentioning early, Kristy is great with private angel readings. She's going to show us some of her angel art. We're going to get a little crystal bowl energy when I do the meditation tonight. She's also going to pull a card for us from her energy deck. So as we begin tonight, we're all going to do the May I meditation. So let's bring our palms together. And let's come up, and our palms come from the heart center up to the top of the crown. And here we're opening up our high sense perception at the crown, connecting to the universe and the great divine. And we say, may I know the truth. We bring our palms right to that third eye, right to the center of the forehead. And this area, when we talk about high sense perception, deals with our clairvoyance, our seeing, and our clairaudience, hearing. So we say, may I see and hear the truth. We bring the lips, the thumbs right just off the lips. May I speak the truth. We bring the palms down to the heart again. May I speak the truth through my heart for all of humanity. So then we open our arms. And we are inviting ourselves to speak the truth to all humanity. So now we have a couple of pictures here. Kristy, we have your book up. I'm going to have you talk about this in a minute. 365 Moments of Grace that you and your mom were in together. And you can have it available from Kristy personally signed or on Amazon, and her information is there. So Kristy, tell us a little bit about this 365 Moments of Grace. Okay, Kristy? Yeah, you got the book? Tell us a little bit about that book. Well, wait. Whoop. Just a second, Kristy. Okay, now speak.
Okay. Yeah. So this book in particular, I have a one-page story about a relative of mine who had passed, and all the beautiful synchronicities. She was young, she was 48, 49, and she had breast cancer. But she had done everything right, you know. She had dealt with it for years and had been in remission, you know. And so it was kind of unexpected. She ate all organic, you know, she did everything healthy. And it was like, wow, when it happened, you know, and it came back like that, it was such a shock. And then she left pretty quickly. And, you know, we were devastated. But what was so beautiful, at first I called it the kitchen sink, because I was in the kitchen and just kept getting all these beautiful signs, even leading up to the day of the funeral, arriving at the church, all these beautiful signs to remind me. And I know, you know, I've seen spirits since I was a child. In my room at night, I would see spirits. So I know they're there, but you know, when it's someone in your life who has transitioned, you know, you're human and you're gonna feel that. Even though I know I'm gonna experience her in a new way, you know, I do like hugging the earth way as well, you know. So it did give me a lot of hope seeing all these different signs.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So I just want to see if I can bring that back up again. And there's a great picture of you and your mom here. And I can't believe I'm getting that angel to wink. I don't know by what technological miracle that was able to happen. But tell us a little bit. Your mom was in the book with you. So
Yes,
tell us, you know, a little bit about that. That's a great picture of the two of you.
thank you. Yeah, she's one of my best buddies in this life. I see her every day. She lives a mile away with my father. So it was such an honor to have her share space with me in that book. And it's a collaborative book of, you know, moments that remind you to have faith and hope and grace through it all. And I'm trying to recall, we actually did two different books together. So I'm not exactly sure what story she has in this one, to be honest with you. But I know in the other one, she talks about the importance of family. Oh, yeah, the importance of family and grace through things. So,
Good. So let me just go back because this book. We're going to talk about another book that you have, but this book is available on Amazon, correct?
yes,
Yeah, and also through you if you want to contact Kristy and have it personally signed. So
yes.
I just love the title, 365 Moments of Grace.
Yeah, it's
And
a beautiful title.
yeah,
And
and
it's kind of like,
is that right? Or is that
yes,
the other book?
where there's 365 moments of grace.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the slide?
Well, on this slide, I put the next slide up, which is here surrounded. Here's you surrounded by all of your angel artwork.
Yes.
And in a few minutes, I'd like you to show us some of that uh, because I know that you're focusing a lot on your artwork. So let me stop the share and see if there's anything close by. I can see the couple of angel things up behind you and so on. And you, let me see one or two. I think you have a bigger one down below.
Yeah, I have, well, this one, sometimes I teach classes for people to tap into their creative heart. So I taught classes, and this was my most popular painting that I taught people to do. So yeah, so anybody can paint that. But yeah, it's one of
Great.
my favorites. It just glows.
Uh-huh. And
And
how
then
about, are there any other ones close by you? Was there one down by your,
there's one up here that
right?
I, and I have a few here.
Okay,
Now,
let's put those up. Let me just speaker view. So bring those up, Chrissy, and I'll have you on full speaker view for that.
okay.
And you'll have to talk. There you go. Okay.
Okay. So what it is I've just started putting prints out there. I've been making angel art for years, putting it on Facebook, just kind of as like a happy, a happy thing to do in this life. Happy
Oh,
messages usually have words on them with messages. And it was like, after all these years, I think I have like 650 images from putting them on Facebook every day.
mm.
And I got an angel message, and it was like, hello, honey, what are you doing? Like, you're doing this every day for all these years. You have 650 some
Oh, that's
images.
beautiful.
Thank you. And these are an evolution too of different styles, because like I said, I have like probably 650 images around there, and they just keep morphing. Like someone said to me, it looks like different styles, like different artists did them. And I'm like, that's because it depends on the energy of the moment. And I've been doing this for years. And like I said, I finally got the message, hello, you know, maybe somebody who sees them on your Facebook page might want to buy one. So I'm starting to put different prints up on my website for sale.
Great.
So
Good.
that's exciting. It feels very empowering because I realized, I'm like, you know, these babies, they're just sitting on a computer somewhere. How fun is that? Like, what good is that going to do, you know? So if someone wants to put them on their wall and in their space for, you know, to make them happy and light them up, let's do it, you know?
Well, that would be great, like at some of the yoga centers or the wellness centers. There's so many yoga centers now. It would be a great painting to have somewhere. Perfect.
Right. Well, thank you. Oh, you know, I do have to show you one I took. It's over here. It's tucked away. But I have to explain this one. This is one of my all-time favorites. I don't know if you can see it well.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So I have to explain, this combines my photography and my drawings with digital art. So I combine them all. This was a woman on the beach in Avalon in a white dress. And I saw her standing there and I was like blown away by the beauty of the moment. And then I just kept playing with it digitally and it just morphed. And there's like, you know, I just feel like it's very ethereal with like these sprinkles and sparkles of light beams coming down. So anyway, that's one of my near and dears because Avalon, New Jersey is very near and dear to my heart.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah.
And then I have another one. It's a very different style. This is for lunar energy with angels.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't she fun? She's just perched there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Ready to
Sitting on that
celebrate.
new moon.
That's right. So originally I was going to teach people how to paint her. And it just didn't work that way. So apparently she just didn't want to be taught. So, and I think that's all the art images I have right here. We have that one up there. I don't know if you can see that one,
Yeah.
but she's just all in her radiance. She was the first one I did that was very, almost like a model, like a supermodel shape to her, which was very different, like a fashionista angel, if you will.
Yeah. And it even looks like a giant heart around her.
Yes. Yes, you got it.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you. So that was fun to do. So I think that's all the ones I have around right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to the slideshow and just in a minute, I'm going to have you talk about your decks because everybody loves, you know, the decks. People have different favorite ones, Saint Germain, you know, Archangel Michael, so on. But the angel ones I know are very popular. And this is information on how to get in touch with you, of course, for more angel vibes. So I wondered with the angel reminder or one of the decks that you would like if you would pull a card for our group tonight and read it.
Awesome. I would love to.
Okay.
So this is the new angel reminder deck. Just came out with that a couple months ago. And I channeled in simply, let's just, you know, make happy, positive messages. So it's not an oracle deck. It's kind of a daily deck, if you will, just for picking you up. Affirmation, inspiration, deep thought. It's also nice to give to someone. If they're feeling down, you can pick out a card and give it to them. Or you pick one in the morning. I like that idea. Put it in your pocket or your handbag. Carry it around with you. The one I feel is important for us tonight is, I don't know if you can see it, you are the only one in charge of your inner peace.
Beautiful. Yes, we can see that. It looks like the girl is on a unicorn even.
Yes. Oh, I had to throw unicorns in there.
Yeah.
So as an artist, so I feel like I was born with a paintbrush in my hand and I saw spirits around me. So it's been neat. I didn't put it all together until later in life. But what's funny to me or fascinating is that as a child, I was painting and drawing rainbows. I had rainbow sheets and rainbow sweaters, and I painted rainbows everywhere. And then I was drawing unicorns everywhere, putting them together, unicorns and rainbows. I like my world. But it's funny, when I got older and accepted my gifts, I started experiencing the angels, started studying the angels. That's called angelology, by the way, study of angels. It's kind of a interesting term most people have never heard of.
Oh.
So I started, right?
Yeah.
So I started looking into the angels and found out that the main angels we talk about are on the 7 rays of the rainbow. So here, I feel like the angels were connecting with me at a young age, and I didn't put it together. But here I was drawing rainbows everywhere, and now I'm drawing angels. And it's kind of cool, because a lot of times when I paint the angels I see around people, and it's so cool. When I'm painting the angels I see around people, I start getting messages too about the person. It evolved into this thing. I'm like, hey, I'll paint the angel I see around you. And before you know it, I'm painting and painting. I'm like, I got to take notes. What's up with this? And then lo and behold, it was like a page of notes. So it evolved into, you know, the angels were coming through with messages of guidance and upliftment through the art, if you will. It's like any opportunity to get through with positive life guidance, they'll take it, you know? So anyway, I did pull another card I felt drawn to for tonight, and keep believing in the good in this world.
Keep believing in the good. Boy, do we ever need to do that today. Oh,
I know, right? So with this deck, about half the cards are with this imagery, like with the unicorn and the angel, and that's like the cover of it, or the back of it.
okay.
And then the rest are different pieces of art that I've done. So they're my Facebook images that I put into cards, really, this packet. So,
Perfect.
and now the other deck is the energy of angels, like oracle reading deck, if you will. And with that one, when I was setting up, I was getting information for tonight. They had me pull the heart card, the heart chakra.
Oh, love that.
Thank you.
So read what it says for us.
I was just about to do that. You read my mind. So the angels came through when I was making this. So this was so funny how this happened. Well, to me, it was funny. Bear with me. But one day, it was about 4 years ago, February, and it was like, you know what? You need to make an angel deck. And I'm like, what? Who am I to do that? Who's going to buy it? Who's going to want it? All those doubts came in. And almost as an artist, kind of an exposure feeling, to be honest. Will people judge my art, right? Will they think it's good enough? All those kinds of things getting in my own way. And it was like, I kept getting this message, girl, get in that seat. You've already got the artwork done. Because again, this was part of my Facebook images I've just been putting out there for years. So I grabbed the images and they channeled in 2 weeks straight. I think I sat in my PJs in my desk chair for 2 weeks straight, and they channeled in with information they wanted on the cards. I'm like, okay. So they said to me, we want you to include chakra cards. I'm like, what is that about? Nobody's doing that. And how do you explain that? And it's like, why are you arguing with the angels, girlfriend? Just do it. So I did it. And what they said was they wanted to get the word out about the chakras and the importance of the energy centers. And angels are connected. Like I was saying, different color rays or different angels, like green, Archangel Raphael is connected to, and that's heart chakra. So it's all connected. So they also wanted the Sanskrit word, so people got to learn it. It's an ancient language. So it says, Anahata, love, healing, happiness, and compassion. And it's Archangel Raphael.
Oh, beautiful. Love, healing, compassion. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And there was two more that jumped out for tonight. There's new possibilities. I don't know if you can see that well.
Yes.
Okay. So
I can
it's like
see it.
like an angelic mother holding a baby.
Mhm.
And so when some people would see this, they would say, oh, does that mean I'm going to get pregnant and have babies? And maybe I'm 80 years old. So what does that mean? No. So what this means is perhaps it could mean that in your life, if that's, something. But really, it's just about the birthing of new possibilities, new ideas, a new chapter in your life is really what that's about. And also, when I see this card, it's about nurturing yourself, nurturing your inner child. So there's a lot of levels. Also, depending on the moment and who you are and where you are in your healing process, it could be about healing your mother-daughter or mother relationship, right? So there's a lot of levels to these. Also, if you know numerology, there's a 13, which equals a 4 in numerology. And that would be like building block, a time of building. So it all works with the new possibilities. So there's kind of a lot of depth to the cards once you get into it. And the last card for tonight from the Energy of Angels deck that I wanted to share is Clear. Again, very different style for me. This is the only one like that. But if you notice, we've got rainbow hearts going on down the side there, or the other side. And it's all the chakras is what it represents. So when this card comes up, all right, let's get balancing some chakra action there. And also, she's holding a heart right there and kind of beaming out. So again, it can also be seen as a card about nurturing yourself and your chakras and embracing your gifts and letting them out into the world. Just kind of what we're doing with this card deck, because this deck I've had for like 4 years under a rock, haven't talked about it. And so now I'm talking about it.
I like the figure 8 on the front. That infinity.
Oh, you noticed that. Oh, I know you like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the imagery was very important. So what's neat with this is I teach, I told you, like sacred heart work, I call it heart work. And this was part of an angel collage that I made. And I teach people how to make angel collage cards. And this morphed from that. So that was fun.
Yeah. So now these cards are on Etsy?
Yes, but you know what's
can be purchased? Are they through you, or how do most people get the decks?
Yeah, I share them now. You can get them on Etsy. It's easier to go to energyofangels.com.
Okay.
That's my website. And then it's easier. It kind of leads you to there by pushing buttons instead of figuring out the Etsy thing. But these I have decks. I haven't published them on Etsy yet, but they'll be up there soon. And they can get them in person. Okay,
great. So they could just go to your website and contact you and get them as well.
Yes.
Good. So we're going to go back. And again, here is Kristy's website, energyofangels.com, and a beautiful picture of one of the decks that we looked at tonight, the Angel Reminder deck. Whoop. Whoop. We're having a little trouble here tonight. So your artwork is very different, as you explained, and very really different than what I've seen. And I love the idea of the angel reminders, just some, again, everything seems to be geared toward very positive thinking.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's the message that comes through over and over again when I work with the angels is just, everybody has the tools within themselves, and it's just about accessing them and trusting. So these are just tools to help you access your inner wisdom and validate it so that you start trusting yourself more. I remember one time I pulled a card, and it was like the Christmas season, and we get really into Christmas. A couple days before Christmas, and I hadn't drank any water since I woke up that morning. It was about midnight. And I thought, ooh, I really need to drink some water, because several years before I had been hospitalized for dehydration. So I'm usually right on the whole water thing, right on it. And for whatever reason, I was just in Christmas mode, stressing out, running around. And I'm like, oh, I should have drank water, but I get into bed. Thought, let me pull a card. And I pulled the card, and it said, you need to drink more water. I almost fell out of bed laughing. I'm like, thank you. I know. So I got out of bed and drank some water. I wasn't going to argue anymore.
That's a great story.
So it's all there. I was ignoring the messages I was getting and my intuition about it. And, the angels are like, hello, we've got a tool here to let you know. Go get a drink, sister.
Well, I think, Kristy, you probably get so involved in your artwork and so on that, it's not intentional. You just forget. I know for most of us, if we're absorbed in some kind of project, we just get lost in it.
Right. Oh, yes. Guilty of that. So it's pretty interesting. Like you said, I always say, I like my bubble. I like my world. It's got angels and unicorns and rainbows. But I've done a lot of thinking about that, because some people call me a Pollyanna, right? Because they're like, you're always happy. And I'm like, you know what? I got my moments. Just call my husband. He can tell you the what. But for the most part, I'm really upbeat and happy. But what I realized is when I was a child, I had a good bit of trauma. And I had to I realized I created my own safe world through painting and drawing, so that I had a sacred space, since I didn't feel safe in the regular world. That's where the rainbows, the unicorns, the love came in. And it was interesting. That's what I painted until high school. And then in high school years, I painted women's faces is mostly different expressions of women. I don't know why, just went with it. Then in college, I did a lot of female warriors and dragons and women with swords and Valkyries. And then got out of college, I started painting flowers for about 10 years. 10 years of flowers, mostly purple irises. It's a lot of flowers. Found out that's a very spiritual flower. But then it's been angels, like the last good bit of years, lots of angels. So it's been an interesting morph of a journey if I look at the progression of healing in my life and observation in my life. So there's definitely tools like that, creativity that can help us. Definitely. I teach mandala classes over the years, which are sacred circles. And it's considered a safe space to put your thoughts and emotions or just meditate. And I'll never forget, my children grew up doing mandalas. And we had a family upsetting thing happen where our in-laws' house was broken into by robbers and then burned to the ground. And my youngest was about 9. And it was quite upsetting. It was 2 days after Thanksgiving, about 5 years ago. And as you can imagine, as an adult, I was processing those feelings of safety in your home, of all those levels of things. And here I have these children, and I'm trying to convey to them how to feel safe. And one night, the day after the fire, my little one, she was 9. I tucked her in to bed at 8 o'clock. I come up at 10. I see her lights on, and I come in, honey, what are you doing? She said, look, Mama. And she held up all these drawings, 10 or 11 drawings she had colored in of mandalas to help her as a coping tool to deal with the upsetting feelings, to get them out of her head. She didn't know where to put them. And I thought, she's brilliant.
Mhm.
She's brilliant. She, the child, showed the mother, you know, the young child showed the mother, hello, these are the tools in your tool belt, mama. Get them out. If you don't know how to sort it out, start coloring, start making circles, but use these tools. If you can't figure it out, what's in there, and you can't calm it down, then start doodling it out. So,
Amazing.
right?
Really amazing. And, you know, the mandalas are so ancient. I mean, certainly they would not only be creative, but help you feel, you know, like you're creating your own, drawing, as you said, your own safe space. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Carl Jung, um, the psychologist from, you know, a while back, mid 1900s, he used to use mandalas with his patients. He found during a time of war that he was drawing circular art and then it was calming him. So he started digging around and he's like, oh, these are mandalas. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to use them with my patients. And what he found was, it was that. It's a sacred circle, a safe place to put your thoughts, to help calm you when you can't make sense of things, or you just need a place to park some thoughts.
I like that. Park some thoughts. Great. Yeah.
I'm going to put that on Facebook.
Yes. Great. Good idea. So Kristy, hold on just a second, and I'm going to go back and go back to the slides. And again, here's that, you know, great picture you sent me, and the just the angel reminder deck. And I also want to just go back in time a little bit, because last month our guest was Marilyn Eppolite, and she had donated her kidney to her brother. And so it was a very interesting webinar that we did. And I loved this picture that Marilyn had sent with the kidney traveling on angel wings. And, you know, happily, the situation was turned out very successful, you know, for both of them. And that was great to see. And I had talked to Marilyn about telling us that story because she's local and her brother's local, and she went through a great deal, all, you know, months of testing in order to be sure that she was a, you know, a perfect match for Bob. So just an interesting experience. And tonight I want to talk about spleen, because spleen is your mother organ, and she metabolizes everything for you, your feelings, your emotions. She metabolizes your food. She balances your blood chemistry. But the most important thing that she does for you is fight infection. So in both Eastern and Western medicine, spleen is a vital organ for your immune system. And we're just traveling through, you know, winter here. As we go into March, we get into a little bit more spring, but we still have that tendency as we go through winter to come down with a cold or the flu or some kind of situation. So I wanted to bring information in tonight about ways that you can help that and a way to tap for it. So if you find the points just over the breast at the very first rib, and you tap on each side of the body, you're doing some dual tapping. You're actually tapping on the neurolymphatic reflex points for spleen. And sometimes these are a little bit tender. So as we're tapping, we are also using the expression for spleen that says, I nourish myself with love. And so again, I nourish myself with love. Now we're going to move to the most famous point on spleen, and that is right at the end of the spleen. So I'm going to stop sharing and show this to you. So we went for the first 2 points right over the breast to that first rib. And now we're going to move all the way out to the end. Take my jacket off here. We're going to move to the end of the rib cage. So if you come up underneath your armpit and down to the end of your rib cage there, you're going to just tap strong. Notice if it's tender. And anything that's tender needs some extra help. So I'm going to lower this just a little bit, see if I can lower my desk. Okay, so here we are, right there, right at the end of the rib cage. Come in and tap. Just notice if it's tender. It usually is by this time of night because it's, you know, the end of the day for us. So again, over the breast, first rib, right below the breast there, tapping in, supporting your immune system and bolstering spleen. Then you move right out laterally to the side on each side. You're right at the end of the rib cage there, and you're just tapping as strong as you can. So that's really helpful in helping to keep your spleen organ strong. And it also helps because you're working with the neurolymphatic points, it helps to move toxins through the body. And this is a feminine organ. And she does so much for us on a daily basis, 24 hours a day. And again, as I said, including fighting infection. So in Chinese medicine, every organ has 2 hours, and spleen is active between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And then heart comes in from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So actually spleen is supporting heart. And that's another reason why we want to really tap spleen. We want to do everything we can to help the heart. So when people have heart issues with, you know, circulation or all different issues, one of the things that they can do for themselves without any harm is tapping spleen. Just really tapping spleen in those 2 points that we use just below the breast on that first rib, and then all the way out on the sides right at the end of the rib cage. And you're really tapping hard so that you really get that spleen supported as much as possible. And I showed this last week, or last month rather, but I just want to mention again how many new things are being brought to the medical front. And there was a patient, and this was in Bulgaria, received one of the first 3D printed ribs as part of a life-saving operation. So 3D printing is getting bigger and bigger, and 3D printing, actually the 3D printers 10 years ago were around $10,000. They are 10 times faster now, and they are only about $400. So I know the kids in high school and even grade school are using these and experimenting with them. So pretty soon kids will be able to print their own Legos, and we could actually be able to print clothing if we wanted. Everyone in the shoe industry is using 3D printing a great deal and actually making shoes with that 3D printer. So amazing. And I also showed this, I think, before, and this young man was the first paralyzed human to successfully receive stem cells. He regained movement from his neck down to his hips. And he had been in an auto accident and was paralyzed from his neck down. He's still paralyzed below the hips, but he was part of an experiment hoping that, and these stem cells were injected into his spinal column. And I forget the technicality of how many stem cells, but I believe he's had more than one infusion. And I think they're continuing to hope that this will run through the entire length of his body. So if you're not familiar with stem cells, they are absolutely going to revolutionize medicine as we know it. It is definitely going to change the scene. Now, right now, you can get stem cells, people are getting them instead of knee replacements, or getting them for all sorts of things, except that they're not covered by any kind of medical insurance. And so that is in process. Consequently, right now, stem cells, divide whether or not you can afford them, and it is very expensive to have done. But I thought this was a great picture of Christopher, lifting weights after being paralyzed from the neck down. He's only about, I think about 22 or 23 now. And on the last side, just wanted to mention, these are some things I'm doing, teaching Reiki 1 and 2 in a one-day intensive with a very comprehensive manual and certification. And I'm also going to be teaching a class, Kristy, you were talking about, your friend that you lost. I'm going to be teaching a class called Crossing Over, the bridge between here and there. I will be doing it at several locations, but this one is Sunday, March the 31st from 12 to 4, and it will be down at Ananda Yoga in Winona, New Jersey. I'm also going to be doing some VIP luminary healing days where I limit the class to 4 people, and I teach you some advanced techniques and special ways to use healing. And those that have participated have found it very helpful. Saturday, April the 6th, the Holistic Chamber of Commerce is going to have an expo day, actually at Universal Church, right in Cherry Hill. And so I will, make sure that you get more information about that. Okay. So, Kristy, do you have one of your crystal bowls around?
I sure do.
Okay. Because I was going to end things with a little meditation, but before I do, I want to unmute everyone and ask if anyone has any questions for Kristy or for myself. So if anybody has any questions, I just unmuted everyone. Speak up. No questions. I don't hear anybody shouting. Okay. All right. So Peggy and Barbette, Chris, Carol, get comfortable. Kristy, we're going to do a little meditation, and we're going to also, Kristy's going to do a little crystal bowl sounding for us while we do the meditation. So get yourself comfortable, relax, sit back in a chair or lie down on a couch or the bed, and just begin taking a breath. And just breathe in comfortably and breathe out gently. And notice that when you're breathing in, the air is cool, but as you breathe out, it's been warmed by your body. So Kristy, you can do a little crystal bowl as I'm uh, see. Okay, great. Got that going. All right, wonderful, Kristy. A little gentle crystal ball as I just take us through a little bit of a guided meditation. So close your eyes and relax. When you close your eyes, you remove your sensory attention to the outside world, and we're bringing our attention and intention into our inner world. And we want to just take a few minutes to come into that inner world. And as we breathe in, just feeling that life force come in and move through us. As we breathe out, letting go of any muscle tension, letting the shoulders drop and relax. Just take a body check and notice if there's any place else where your muscles are tight or holding, and just invite them to let go. As we end the month of February, which we think about as a heart month with Valentine's Day and heart celebrations, as we let go of February, we step in tomorrow to March. The month of daffodils and crocuses blooming gently. The month of wind to clear away the winter darkness. And as we go back to daylight time, to bring us more light. As we welcome spring, it is the time that is connected to the organs of the liver and gallbladder. So in the winter, we are in the season of water that's connected to kidney and bladder. And as we move into spring, we move into a blossoming and awakening of the earth. And so let us take this moment as a group and bring that inner world, feel it as a safe place for us to enter and to just be with ourselves in the present moment. And as we sit in this special place, I'm holding our Women, Healing Women and the World webinar prayer bowl. And I have the different intentions for those that are part of our wellness webinar tribe. And I'm also putting in and inviting you to put in your intentions for healing in the bowl tonight. There is nothing more powerful than group healing. So as I hold the bowl and we have that beautiful crystal background, we just want to acknowledge healing on all levels for the highest purpose, for all of those in the bowl. As we breathe in again, we just take in that life force, and as we breathe out, we just let go. We just let go of the day's problems, of tension, of our anxiety, doubt, and fear. And we sit in a place of love, compassion, gratitude, and resilience. We build resilience for our personal life and help those around us build resilience for theirs. We are in a very transitional time on planet Earth. And so we take this time to hold ourselves and our prayers and intention in the prayer bowl for whatever is needed by each individual of our group and their loved ones. So once again, just taking a gentle breath in and again taking just an easy, quick body scan and noticing if there's any area on the body that needs help in releasing tension. Just going to that part of the body, bringing our attention there, and inviting release, calm, peace, and tranquility. Breathing in again, breathing out, letting go. And now we come one hand over the other, right at the heart center. The heart chakra center right between the breast. And we hold all of our being in love, honor, and reverence. Just as we are in this moment in time. And again, holding all of our being in love, honor, and reverence, just as we are in this moment in time. One more deep breath in. Again, breathing in love, compassion, gratitude, resilience. And one last time, holding all of our being in love, honor, and reverence, just as we are in this moment in time. Take one last breath and just take a body check. Just notice how you feel. When you're ready, you can gently come back and try to stay with this energy. So I want to thank our guest, Kristy McAdams, for sharing her beautiful angel art, her angel decks, and picking some cards for us. And Kristy, any last words you'd like to say before we end tonight?
I would love to. I want to thank you from my heart space to yours, to all of yours, for sharing your time and energy and space with me. And I was getting this message to share something the angels have me do every day, if I can remember. When upon waking, or sometimes in the shower, if it takes me a little to wake up, they have me say, thank you for the blessings of yesterday. Thank you for the blessings of today. Thank you for the blessings of tomorrow. And with that, I leave you all. Namaste and thank you.
Thank you. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, it was great to have you with me and with Kristy tonight. And we will be on, I think it's actually March 28th. It's the last Thursday of the month. And I'm also going to send everyone, I did a lovely interview last night with Daniel Gutierrez, and he has written this bestseller, his fifth book, Radical Mindfulness. But he shared his story of how he was literally on top of the world, famous consultant in the boardrooms on Wall Street, and how he gave it all up and went on a journey because his guides asked him that question, who am I? So very, very interesting, about a 20-minute video if you get a chance. He was a delightful man to hear his story, and his book, Radical Mindfulness. So being mindful, have a good night, and we'll see what happens with the snow tomorrow. Take care and safe travel.